Hi, this is Anil and welcome to the video tutorial for the Learning Light on C++ programming. So in the last couple of tutorials, we have learned about the public inheritance, the protected inheritance and the private inheritance. In that tutorials, we have noticed, when we use the protected inheritance, the public and the protected method of the base class are going to become the protected members of the derived class, and when we use the private inheritance, the public and protected members of the base class are going to become the private members of the derived class. So what happens in programming is sometimes we need to change the access level of certain members. So here I have the code from the previous tutorial, so it was about the private inheritance. So we have a class called person which acted as the base class, and we had the name as a protected member, and we had the setName function as a public member, and this student was a derived class from the base class person. And we had the private inheritance, and as a public member we had the display function and also a student setName function. And I'm gonna remove this third class which is no longer needed. Right now, so now here, since we are using this private inheritance, the members of this base class are going to become the private members or act as the private members in this derived class student. Sometimes we need to change their access level. So here what we're going to do is we're going to make name to act as public in this derived class student. So when we use this private inheritance, normally or by default it's gonna act as private, but we're gonna make it public. To do that, we're gonna use the access declaration. By using this access declaration, we can change the access level or the scope of a member of the base class in the derived class. To do that, first we need to write the base class name, which is person in this case, and then the scope resolution operator, and then the member name. So here we want to change the access level of this name, so I'm gonna write name, and that's it, add the semicolon. So here we are doing this access declaration in this public block. That's why this name now it's gonna act as the public member of this class student. Just to demonstrate that, here in our main function, I'm gonna assign the value to the name. So I'm gonna directly access that. So it's gonna be Anil dot name and equal to, let's say, Anil, and I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna build and run this program. Okay. We don't have this GStudent class, we only have the student class. That's why I'm gonna change that, and I'm gonna build and run it again, and we get Anil. So this access declaration is used to change the access level or the scope of a base class member in the derived class. Similarly, if you wanted to change the access level of this setName method in this derived class, by default, because of this private inheritance, it is having the private scope here in the derived class. So we can change that. To do that, we need to use the class name, then the scope resolution operator, and then the method name. That's it, set name. So no need of this curly braces and the semicolon. So now this set name method is gonna act as the public member of this class student despite of this private inheritance. So here, just to demonstrate that, I'm gonna use the set name method. So it's gonna be set name, and I'm gonna pass Anil, and I'm gonna build and run this program. You guys can see we got Anil. So this is how you guys can use the access declaration in C++ to change the scope or change the access level of a base class member in the derived class. So thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and like my Facebook page, and stay updated with the latest videos that we're gonna make, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.